time. We no regular, never. Them know our style, you know. Yeah, what? You know we can't team cause we wild, you know. Girls and Kyle, you know. Make them know this. Brother the Benz are the brother the rims. Tell a boy no red eye, me work hard for me things. Them know a regular we fly like say we have wings. When you have thick fat Kyle, then a brother the link. Yeah, we no really matter when nobody wants say. We no beg firm, me full of militants. Your gala say she like me cause me clothes them trendy. Full of jewelry and we money plenty. The whole place a burn up. Yeah, anywhere we turn up. Money and girls off the surplus. Yeah, no boy can't hurt us. Touch road we never nervous. Some boy a clown in a circus. Yeah, put them in a dirt fuss. Yeah, we a flip the gal them skirt fuss. Yeah, action pack we no storyteller. Style them different, no we no popular. Clips off the load when no roll with killer. If I no girls and money then a jokes we inna. Some boy a beginner, we are the winner. Roll with the spinner when me on for the dinner. Your gal get pick up when me roll up inna the beamer. Thick fat Kyle and liquor. The whole place a burn up. Yeah, anywhere we turn up. Money and girls off the surplus. No boy can't hurt us. Touch road we never nervous. Some boy a clown in a circus. Yeah, put them in a dirt fuss. Yeah, we a flip the gal them skirt fuss. Brother the Benz are the brother the rims. Tell a boy no red eye, me work hard for me things. Them know a regular we fly like say we have wings. When you have thick fat Kyle, then a brother the link. Yeah, we no really matter when nobody wants say. We no beg firm, me full of militants. Your gala say she like me cause me clothes them trendy. Full of jewelry and we money plenty. The whole place a burn up. Yeah, anywhere we turn up. Money and girls off the surplus. Yeah, no boy can't hurt us. Touch road we never nervous. Some boy a clown in a circus. Yeah, put them in a dirt fuss. Yeah, we a flip the gal them skirt fuss.
Yo, what's going on? Man, I don't know where the fuck everybody is tonight. What the fuck? How do I set this up here? What? Camera? All right, here we go. I guess that's good. Put some, because I probably have to go to bed. Put a little lotion on, little Jergens. Yeah, I have to go to bed tonight because I have a huge job tomorrow in the morning. So I gotta. Probably it's good nobody's coming on tonight because I gotta be up early as fuck tomorrow. If the guy, I didn't really do it on. Well, I did some stuff this weekend. I hung out with Brian Worrell. But I think what I want to talk about tonight is make sure there's no ash on my hands. Let me set my fucking sampler here. Let me check the all right. Make sure the live stream's up. Make sure the chat's up. You're welcome, man. Tonight, nobody's here, but that's a good thing because I probably have to go to bed. And what I'm noticing on Facebook and just everywhere, that there is this competition. No, not competition. That's the bad word. There's a clash between me and the younger generation. And I don't think a clash has ever happened like this before in humanity. And the reason why I think this has never happened is it's because life expectancy is getting longer. And since the life expectancy is getting longer, people are feeling younger. Right? So I'm 51 and I'm still in the clubs doing what I got to do. When I was 24, maybe they were in the club, maybe 51-year-olds were in the club, but it didn't seem that they were. And if they were, there wasn't like this clash between the 51-year-olds and the younger generation. It kind of felt like there was an embracement between the younger generation and the older generation. Oh, let me see here. Let me make sure the audio's coming out nice and clean. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. All right, let's see. Oh, let me see. Let me make sure the audio's coming out. Audio sounds good. Audio sounds good. Audio sounds good. How y'all doing in the chat today? Yeah, so when I was growing up, there didn't seem to be this clash, and maybe nothing was repeated and everything was new, right? So when I was 24 years old, every single year something was new and it was invented. And it's something that we never ever seen before, right? It was like party lines. Like you would get on a phone and there'll be like 100 people talking in one room, right? And then you could pick which room you wanted to get to. And then I guess I even forgot how that shit works. But yeah, there'd be like 100 people on the phone, and that's how you met. Then there was AOL rooms where you would go in and meet, and then you could direct message people if you saw like a girl or a guy. And then from there, we went to like Black Planet. And then after Black Planet, we went to MySpace. And after MySpace, there was a gap where MySpace was just running shit. And then there was a gap. And then there was Facebook. And then we had Twitter. No. MySpace, Twitter, then Facebook, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. So every single time, for me, there was always something new. Now that I'm 51, I feel like we've hit the pinnacle. And there's really no more innovation that's left in humanity. But when people talk about, well, there's AI. Well, yeah, there's AI, but to me, AI is something that isn't new because they've been preparing me for AI since 1985 when the original Terminator came out. That has to be in the 80s. And then 92, I think the second, or 93, the second Terminator came out. So by the time I was 18, 19, 21 years old, I was ready for this AI shit. I was ready for it. So to me, it's nothing new. Now it's 2025. And I just feel like now there's just a clash because the young kids really can't invent anything new, right? Everything that young kids do now have been completely done already. They could do it on a different format, but it's been done. And because you are young, you don't understand that it's been done. So today on Facebook, there's a young kid named Mike Dees. He goes around to all of the club let-outs and he interviews people. But he also does community activism. Like he'll go and he'll stand in front of a bridge and be like, yo, this bridge is out. And he would interview people why this bridge is out. And he would inform people and walk around town and see potholes in the street and talk about, he just basically documented the whole city of Boston. The younger generation thinks like that's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, this kid's on another level. The older generation is like, Bobby Shakes did that 30 years ago. So now we have the younger generation, the older generation in like a clash. And it's like the old heads are saying to the young heads, Y'all are retarded. This been done centuries ago. The younger heads are saying to the old heads, y'all are hating. And I just don't know where there's going to be a compromise, if there isn't going to be one. BobbyShakes.com was launched. Ugh. You know when you lotion your face and then you take a drink? I have like lotion and mint tea. The fuck was I going to say? Right. So there's a clash between the old heads and the new heads. And I think tonight I'm going to be the mediator between old and young. But first, I'm going to talk about the history of where I come from. So I would go out to a nightclub, take a picture, and immediately post it on BobbyShakes.com. Like every night, I would go home, it's posted right away, hot off the press. Reggae, hip hop. Started off in hip hop first because that's where I got. Like, I've done bigger things in hip hop than I've done in reggae. Like, my government name is on Real Shit, where Bobby Shakes is just attached to reggae, which is, I have a cult following as Bobby Shakes. I think the only thing I've ever done is that's like industry standard is I did Barris Hammond's album cover. I was a creative director for Barris Hammond's album cover. I don't even know which one, but one of Barris Hammond's albums, I was a creative director on that, and I probably didn't even get credit. Like, the photographer from New York came down and I creatively directed the whole thing, and he probably went back to New York and said that he did it all. But one album from Barris Hammond, Bobby Shakes should be on there as creative director. My government name has done massive shit in the hip hop world. So Bobby Shakes first started off as a hip hop site because that's where I got the access to until I was able to finagle my way into. Well, no, I didn't finagle my way into Cover My Reggae Show. My homie Super D came to me and told me that I need to do reggae. So, yo, see no fab, what's going on? There it is. See no fab. End of stream. End of stream. What is old? Everything is being recycled. There it is. End of stream. Bobby Steels with the Orette. Please drop the E at the end, sir. So, all right. So a lot of the young kids think that what Mike Dees is doing is revolutionary. Okay. So, as it says in the chat here, this was done by Orette Robinson. Okay. This is when I worked at the Source magazine, and this is when we did let outs. This is 1997 to 1998. So, you're a fucking prick. Of course I'm a fucking prick. So, I just want to show the and this is film photography if you young kids don't know. So this is what we did at let outs back in the day. So this is, I don't know what album that is. What album is this? This is a Drew Hill album. This is a Wu-Tang album. This is Case. This is the Nas record, I Am. So at let outs when I was young, and this is my blue Chrysler. So when I was young, who's this? This is Outkast. I don't know what record this is, but this is Outkast here. There it is. What is this? Who is this? All you old heads, who is this? I bet y'all don't even know. Now, here's the thing. A lot of y'all old heads act like you're old heads, but none of y'all was really outside too. And that's another thing that y'all old heads be talking that ish, but y'all wasn't really outside either. Right? So give the young kids some chances. If you're 51, if you're old, please tell me who this is. Y'all don't know. What is this right here? Noriega. And this is the... Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, let me squeeze 2 for Undertaker.
They hear that? Yeah, me I said the man King Midas. Blend the van, get right. You're not doing it. New York, on one side. They hear that?
I gotta pour some drinks. Let me pour some drinks. Before I even tell my story, I gotta pour some drinks. Let me pour a drink to Cino Fab. Let me pour a drink to Englishman. Happy birthday, youth. No, I can't disrespect the Englishman like that. I think the Englishman probably want white rum. Even though that tequila's crazy. Englishman probably want, I can't get it out the pack. Here it is. I know Mr. G. I know the man's name is Mr. G. So you know Mr. G wants some tequila. Pour him a drink. DJ Warlock. Bobby a DJ now? Hold on a sec. Let me pour Warlock a thing. Cheers. DJ Warlock, you get your drink? You know, let me give the Bajan something real. You know, give the Bajan some Jamaican strength. There it is. Give him some Jamaican strength. All right, here we go. So here we go. And this is why I'm doing this. Right? And this is exactly what DJ Warlock just said. This is why I'm doing this old versus new, and I'm trying to bridge the gap. Because if you know Bobby Shakes, like Bobby Shakes comes in stages. Like I said, like all this stuff, that's outside Tower Records. Y'all don't know who this is. No one in the chat knows who this is, and this is pissing me off. This is a let out. This is at a let out. This is at a let out. Outkast. So I've been filming outside of let out since 1996. But when I worked for the record label used to give me promo items to pass out to the people. So I would do the same exact thing what Mike Dees is doing now. I would go to a let out, camera, microphone, interview the people, and give them CDs and posters. There's Case. And that was huge. Like, people used to go crazy because I had all the promo records. Like right here, you can see this is a promo. For those that don't know, what's in his hand is what we call a cassette single. Oh yeah, music used to be on tape, people. I know a lot of you young kids probably don't know what the fuck that is. Tape, as you can see right here in the wall, that's a record. Okay. Here's another let out. And this is Outkast and Method Man and Redman. And as you can see right here in his hand, you can't really see it, but in his hand, there is tapes and CDs. And here's a young lady here that got a Case poster. So doing stuff at Let House is not a new concept, people. And it was done before me. It was done before me. As Bobby Shake started to make money, we started to give out VHS players, because I was you got to understand, I was videotaping shows at 3Cs, right? Videotape shows at 3Cs that a lot of people didn't have a VHS player. So we used to go to all the let outs, fly the trunk, and we'd just be handing out, like, yo, the girl with the biggest titties, come get her. And we were just handing out VHS players. Here's a VHS player. Now when Bobby Shakes come around with the VHS cassette, and y'all probably don't know what the hell that is, but that's how movies used to come on. Movies used to come on cassette, right? Here's a VHS player, so now you could buy a Bobby Shake shit. As we started to make way more money, because back then, a VHS player was probably like $100, we started to give out cash. Like, we would go to let outs and we would just have a party outside and we just hand out $100 bills. So the concept of let out is nothing new. Like I just showed you here. Like our let outs was crazy. Like my let outs, when Bobby Shakes did a let out, like girls would get naked. Let me see here. Like that. And like this. Girls were like, yo, take a picture of my booty. So this right here, this picture was taken in on the Broad Walk in New Jersey, because after you went to Greek Fest, which is crazy, after you went to Greek Fest, and we would go to the club, we would go to Philly for the Greek Fest, and then before you hit Boston or New York, you would then hit the Broad Walk in Jersey, which would be crazy. So this picture is actually from the Broad Walk in Jersey. So this whole let out thing's been going on for centuries, and it was done before me. And then, and I know people say, well, he does social commentary. Well, then we released a newspaper. Bobby Shakes had a newspaper. Y'all know what that is. This is for another story. So we had a newspaper, and we talked about current events, and we would either pass these out at South Station or Downtown Crossing. We would pass these out at South Station, Downtown Crossing. Every other train station, we would put these inside the Metro, the Boston Globe, and the Boston Herald. Because it was I think 25 cents for a Herald or maybe 50 cents, whatever it was. So you put a quarter into the machine, open it, and once it's open, I used to stuff these inside the Boston Herald. So this whole let out and this whole social awareness been going on for centuries, and it was going on before me. There was a gentleman called Ouija. Ouija used to show up, I think this is between 1930s and 1940s. Ouija would show up to the crime scenes, take pictures, develop the film in the back of his car, and then send it straight to the newspapers. So covering stuff in real time has been happening since 1930s. The medium has changed, right? Because remember now, the newspaper used to have 10 editions. It was late night edition, early morning edition, midday edition, afternoon edition. So the music, the information was still getting out there, just the medium was different. It's just like social media. So if you wanted to stay on top of shit, the media was there. Like, yeah, because the newspapers were printed all day. You had different runs of the newspaper. What was printed at 6 a.m. definitely wasn't printed at 12 a.m. So the newspaper was always moving. So you were always up to date with the news because everything was printed out. And then you had the news. And then eventually we went from, turning the TV channels like this to we got cable. So you turn the channels like this. And then you got it more globally. Because back in the day, if you read the Herald, was right-leaning, Globe, left-leaning. So you couldn't really get all the news, all the conservative news or liberal news. But once cable television came in, you were able just a click away to watch Fox and CNN. Cassie's in the building. Let me pour Cassie shot of Sylvania, 1950. So all of this is new, right? And I think there was Bobby Shakes. I don't know when Cheddar DVD started. I don't know when Hood's DVD started. I didn't know when Limelight or LimeWire started. Hot Sauce gave 3 or 4 other dudes that would do the same exact thing. I just know we started around 1996 to 1998. That's when the whole start of Bobby Shakes we're doing Let Out. My hip hop career, the Let Outs was done earlier, like 96. I'm lying. Probably like 94, 95, 96, 97. 98 is when the transformation went for me from doing hip hop for me to go into reggae. Then I just shifted to 1998 where it was just strictly giving away money and giving away VHS. But before that, it was this. This was the let out I was doing. It's what I was doing. I think the problem is that the OGs, there is no teaching to the young kids, right? Like Bobby Shakes disappeared for 15 years. Like I should have been doing this and talking about this and bringing on younger kids onto the stream and talking about it and educating them. Because when I was doing this in 1998, a lot of y'all weren't even born. Or if you were born, you couldn't come outside. You couldn't come outside. So now that you're in your 30s and you see something, you think it's mind-blowing and it's new and it's fresh. But it really isn't. What I do love is about the young generation is they're taking advantage of what they have. This is crazy. This right here is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. If Michael Jackson had this, if Martin Luther King had this, if Hitler had this, shit would be crazy. If JFK had this, if Bob Marley had this, if Elvis Presley had this, if James Brown had this, if the Black Panthers had this, we'd be living in a different fucking world. We'd be living in a different world. If the Black Panthers had this, where they could, you got to understand, man. Because in my youth, I did a lot of Black Panthers activism because that was, Niggas been fighting the government for centuries, since Vietnam, before Vietnam. How this country started back in 16 blah 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 in Lexington, when the English came over and was like, nigga, where's the tea money? Where's the tax? And one black dude said, fuck you, we ain't paying no tax, and they shot the black dude. And all the white dudes ran to the crib, grabbed their pistol and rifle, and started shooting at the English army or navy or marines, whatever they were. So everything has been going on for since the world has been done. So nothing is new. Nobody's doing anything groundbreaking. People do things on newer levels, different mediums, but the concept is still the same. And I don't think when an OG says that he's hating on the younger generation. The OG just see it as, yo, come on, you ain't doing nothing special. And even though this is a very, very dangerous piece of equipment, everybody has one. Everybody has one. You don't understand to document something like this almost, I don't know, 20 years ago would be like 25 years ago, you needed a lot of money. My first video camera was $1,500 in 1993. My second video camera was an XL1. I think it cost me close to 10 grand, like 5 batteries. I bought all the lenses, the microphone setup, tape. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think the OGs are hating. I just think that the OGs are just saying that, yo, man, this been done before, and y'all need to really calm down. Y'all are gassing the situation that doesn't really need to be gassed up. But I do think there needs to be some type of bridge or some gap, and that's what I'm trying to do here tonight. Whereas I think the OGs need to reach out a hand, right? So like we're gonna reach out to Mike D's and see if we get Mike D's on the stream and have him talk about why he did what he's doing. Because we did a show together, and we did I forgot her name, the girl with the sausage. Yeah, we did a show together. Looks like a cool kid. Looked like he's doing something that nobody in his generation is doing. Right? So Mike D's amongst his peers look revolutionary. Mike D's to the OGs doesn't look that revolutionary. And I just wanted to say that. And I don't think it's hate. I think it's just people expressing their opinion for what they lived through. Because you got to understand, at 51, we've lived through a lot of crazy shit. Like I've seen the world change. Like my superheroes is dead. Like the rappers that I listened to, the TV shows I watched, the cartoons that I watch, like that shit is erased from the ether, yo. Like, come on, man. Nobody said who this is. Erased from the ether. Like, who talks about Outkast? Probably one of the top 10 hip hop groups all time. Like, my childhood has been erased, completely erased. Like my whole childhood doesn't exist. And because it's erased, when the younger generation come in and do something, it looks revolutionary. But it isn't. It's just repackaged shit. But the OGs got to understand it's good that the younger generation is picking something up and moving forward with it. It's a good thing. And that's what this platform's about. This platform is bridging the gap between the OGs and the younger generation. So we got to reach out to Mike D's and we got to get him on the show so we could just talk. And we could introduce him to the OGs, and me and him could sit back and talk about what we used to do back in the day and what's going on now. And I think this would be a good healing process for Boston, because there's a huge fight on Facebook all over the place between Mike D's and the younger generation, the older generation. Like, he's great, old guys, he suck. But let's build that bridge, man. Let's build that bridge, and let's start to curate some positive shit. There it is. It's a different era, man. Mike D's is the new Bobby Shakes. Gotta pour my man Thug Jug a drink. Cheers. It's a new era. It's a new era. Things are different. And a lot of the OGs are not gonna, like, I'm not gonna go out and videotape potholes and fucking abandoned buildings. I'm not gonna go out and videotape that shit. Because nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. And I'm not being negative, but it's good that Mike D's is doing that. Like, he's giving that energy. Like, yo, these buildings are abandoned. These potholes need to be fixed. This is the reason why this bridge is out. That's good. That's good that he's out there trying to sow that seed. I'm not going to do that shit. And all the power to him. Because I know this is all bullshit. Niggas been crying for rights since fucking 1812 or some shit. So no, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And nothing's gonna change. Because it's not supposed to change. Because if everybody's successful, and me and my boy talked about this the other day and he disagrees with me, but if everybody's a millionaire, then $1 million ain't worth shit. That's why there's a thing called inflation. Let me say that again. If everybody's a millionaire, then when you become a millionaire, that don't mean shit. Because everybody right now got $5 in their pocket. That's why $5 don't mean shit. So the system is set up to have these gaps. And it's always going to be like that. And I understand that. Through the stock market and seeing how the stock market behaves every single day, the system is set up to oppress people. And there's nothing you could do about that. He brought awareness to a lot of shit that we should be bringing to in our community. And I get you. I get you, Jug. I get you. I know. But I'm not going to do it. I'm 51 years old. Like, I've lived in the suburbs for like 10 years. Now I'm back in the hood. And I'm driving around the hood. And this bitch looks like 1981. Like Norfolk Street. Like, I grew up on 16 Peaceville Road. I was there the other day with Brian Worrell. I was there the other day. 16 Peaceville Road looks the same like it did in 1981. The same. Dorchester High, whatever the hell they call it, the field, the MEA5 Field School. I'm there not every week, but at Unity. Like before I go into Unity, I like to walk the block and go to my old elementary school. It looks the same. It looks the same. So I'm not going to waste my time with that. And we're making small adjustments and moving forward. But I'm not going to waste my time with that. All I got to do now is make sure I vote, support Brian Worrell, support Mayor Wu, support Liz Miranda, Senator Miranda, Congresswoman Ayanna Presley, and just put some stuff into play and vote, and that's it. But me, no, I'm not gonna go around and fight for black rights, because it's to me it's useless. But if Mike Dees feels that it's important for him to do that, he needs to get all the power and the strength from all of us to do that, because he's young. He's young. He has blood. He's not negative. As you get older, you just get negative. It's natural. You get negative when you're young. Like when you walk to the end of the curb, you're like, oh shit. You get scared because you don't want to fall off the curb. But when you're young, you jump off the curb, you do a 180 backflip off the curb, you do all type of crazy to jump off the curb. But my age at 51, I'd be like, ah, shit. I hold on to the car and step off the fucking curb. I also learned a few new things about the city from Mike D's videos. There you go. And that's good. And if he has the energy to do that, I think the OG should support that. Yeah, Ronald Weeks, that's the truth, man. Like, I mean, shit, I'm 51. I'm tired. Let me tell y'all some shit. I'm gonna tell y'all some shit why I'm tired and don't give a fuck anymore. So an IPO just came out last week called FIG. Ticker is FIG. The stock Michael, call out the city like we need to call out the COVID.
I mean, I say, yo, King Midas. Hey, Polish. A guns out, you hear that? Hey, now a power. Me can say something? Call it brave, you don't call it luck. One aim of the riches, I'm a target up. King Midas, my target up. So my family suffer cause me hard for broke. Paper chase me that fast to fuck. Swing up a cat to make it a blast the truck. Riches are flow up, pass the cup. King Midas, cough it up. King Midas have it on la. I'm not going around that.
Yo, all the COVID DJ.
You know, while.
Oh yeah, man, we're gonna try to get rid of some of the COVID DJs. Yeah, we need to call out some of the COVID DJs. Come on, Jaja. Let me give Jaja. I know, Jaja. What you want, Jaja? What you want? Tequila or white rum? Which one you want? Pull my man a shot. Said Bobby Shakes, man. Really, man, deal with that. Oh my god. There it is. You're also the Bobby Shakes, though. If any of us OGs are going to be able to bring us OGs together on this type of shit, it would be you. He's right. That's why we want to stand. That's why we want to bridge a gap between us and the younger generation. We have to do that. We can't be fighting with them. It's a new generation. We have to teach them. We need to do more teaching and less quarreling. Both ways. Goes both ways. But let me tell you why I'm sick and tired. There was a stock last week that IPO'd, FIG, ticker FIG. Robinhood had, you could enter the IPO. Nah, no Josh Crash. Whites. There it is. He wants whites. Now we can't do Josh Kraft, man. Pour my man some whites. Cheers. Nah, man, no Josh Kraft, man. We going Mayor Wu. We have to. So, a stock IPO last week called FIG. And usually the only way you could get into the IPO game is if you got to have $100,000. If you have $100,000 in your account, then you could buy the IPO. What the IPO is when a company's about to go public. So they raise money to go public, right? So if you have $100,000, you could buy this stock. So I only had $300. So I put in my request for 7 shares at $250 something, right? My boy put in a request for 100 shares. Because that's really investing. And this is why I talk about the glass ceiling. And no matter what there is, even though the stock market doesn't give about your race, sex, gender, stock market doesn't give a fuck about none of that. But there's still a glass ceiling that you can't get to. So you need like 100 grand to really invest in stocks on the IPOs, because the IPOs always, every IPO always move quickly, right? So because I didn't have $100,000 to invest in the IPO, I entered into the Robinhood fucking sweepstakes, right? Where you put in a request for shares, and it's what is it called? It's like a round robin. You may get one. I may get one. I may get the 7. I may get 5. But there was more demand for FIG than there was shares available. Lux. Poor Lux a drink, right? No, let me ask. Sorry, Lux. What do you want, Lux? You want Sylvania 1950 tequila? Or do you want White Rum limited edition? Yo, Jug. I should be, see? I'm not even doing my thing. Let me see here. I know he wants Kim Janey bad. Jug wants he wants a Kim Janey. Jug, I'm American citizen by naturalization. I don't want to cause any fucking problems. But I know you want all the smoke. I know Jug wants all the smoke when it comes to Kim Janey, and Michelle Wu and Andrea Campbell. I know he wants all the smoke when it comes to that. But I'm not getting involved in that, Jug. I just became a citizen in 2019. Man, I'll fuck up my thing. All right, limited edition Ray and Nephew. Cheers, there you go. Since we pouring whites for the whites, let's go.
The man King Midas, you're Polish, you're now a power. King man, get to hype, you know it already, right? Glenn Devon, you know the man NYC, you know it go.
Yo, the whites.
King Midas have it on la.
Yo, the whites.
And no boy no go round that. No go.
I want to finish my story, but I can't. Let me fix my camera. Yo, you see this right here? And this is what I don't want to do, right? But I'm doing it. Shouldn't be promoting alcohol to my fellow black people. That's careless and fucked up. But let me tell you something this right now. You see this, whites? We was at a big this whites right here is a different breed of white rum. When you drink it, it pops in your mouth. And then the smell, because it's a taste and aroma sensation, it explodes in your mouth, and it's like you're putting on a mask. Like the white rum come in my mouth. Pause. Come in my mouth. That's fucked up. Come on, Shakes. Bun that. What you do?
Hey, man, so the man King Midas, you're foolish. You're no power. King man, get to hype. You know it already, right? Glenn Devon, you know, so the man NYC.
What am I doing? When I drank it, it exploded in my mouth. Pause. And then the aroma just went like this in my head. It was like putting on a mask. And then when I swallowed it, pause, like, and it was going down. It's like that shit was punching me in the kidneys, yo. Yo, Fresh West. Like, yo, this right here is crazy. Crazy. This right here. All right, let me get back to my story. Fresh West, what you want? You want Sylvania or you want white rum? And does anybody want another shot? Who else want another shot? And then I'm going to go through the comments. All right, let me tell my story. Then I'm going to post the comments and answer them. All right, so the initial IPO, right? You need $100,000 to get this stock. All right, cool. Because I don't have 100,000, I $300 whites. The man said I want whites.
Devon, you know, so the man NYC. You know it go down. King Midas have it on la.
Cheers.
And no boy no go round that.
Let me pour up my wine. Yeah. Pour up your wine. So, cheers, Fresh West. So, yeah. So you need 100 grand for this stock to IPO. FIG, F-I-G, right? So because I didn't have 100 grand, I only had $300. I put it into FIG. I thought I was going to get 7 shares. All I got back was 1. And everybody that put in a request for mad shares or 1 share, everybody got 1 share on Robinhood. Boom. So the stock opened up at $33 a share. No, I'm lying. It was an IPO for $33 a share. They only gave us 1 share. So if we wanted to buy more shares before it went public, we had to put in a limit order. Mad people put in limit orders. The stock went from $33 a share to it went to $100. So now it's ready to pop. It's ready to pop. But I invested $300 into the company. I should have been able to get my 7 positions. My boy should have put in for 100 positions. He should have been able to get the 100. I should have been able to get the 7. Stock market open. That motherfucker take off. $142. So I went from $33 to $142. The reason why it went so high is because the institutional investors were pumping and dumping. They were. No, the reason why the reason why this is here is because of I'm doing the stream of my boxers. Yeah, I'm doing the stream of my boxers. That's why my pants is in. I'm in my boxers. Stock goes to 142. I go to sell the stock. Robinhood says that I can't sell the stock, or I'll be kicked out of the IPO shit. Well, that's not fair to the little guy. If you're allowing us to buy the IPO, we should be allowed to sell the IPO. But what they did was they took our money, they held it for 2 weeks while this thing was waiting to go public. Once it goes public, they stopped us from selling that stock. The institutional investors came in and was able to buy all of the shares at $33, was able to push the price up. The retail investors jump on the train to push the stock up, and then the institutional investors took all the money out. At 142, took all the money out and left all of us holding the bag. So when you see this behavior over and over and over again, I bought for 33. I sold today for 98 because I didn't give a fuck about Robinhood's rule. I mean, fuck y'all. If you ban me from the IPO program, fuck y'all. I'm out. I took my fucking 60, 70 bucks and I'm fucking out of there. So going through this behavior constantly as you get older, you get sick and tired. And because I'm so sick and tired, I don't give a fuck anymore. But Mike Dees, who is young, full of energy, if he wants to do it, I wish him all the best. All right, let's read these comments here. Let's read these comments before we go to bed here. See No Fab said, what's up? Yo, See No Fab, what's going on? Fucking DJ Bobby still spelt my name wrong. Englishman was in. He called me a prick here. Undertaker's in the building. We poured him a drink. What else we got here? Bobby a DJ now. No. Warlock. He started off as a DJ. Me and Fresh West, that's in the chat right now, Warlock. Right here. I want y'all to look at this man's name. Me and him had a clash when we were like little kids. Across the street from the Codman Square Health Center wasn't there. We had a clash it was outside. And Wes, I'm not lying when I say there was like over 1,000 people there at the clash. Like me and Fresh West, Low Quartz versus Poison Dart. That is the biggest clash in Boston clash history. The only thing bigger than that is probably Madman Charlie and Rodigan. Madman Charlie and Chris will have some epic ones, but those are at 3Cs. Those were inside. Me and Fresh West right there. You see his name on the bottom of the screen. Me and him had the biggest clash. Has to be top five Boston clashes of all time. Started off as a DJ, Warlock. Started off as a DJ. Like I did this thing right. Like I did the music industry shit right. I did it right. I climbed my way up the ranks. I was a DJ. Then I went to promotions. Then I went to video. Then I went back to promotions, worked for Warner Brothers. Then from Warner Brothers, I went over to Source Magazine. From Source Magazine, I worked myself to assistant engineer, went to school for assistant engineering, still doing the video shit, went to video. Then from video, I went to photography. I did it right. Yeah, so, and that's the thing too, right? And that's because the reason why we're having this podcast, because like a lot of the history that I'm about to say, you don't know unless I say it. Like if you were to line up people in Boston by, yo, what does Bobby Shakes do? Some people are like, yeah, he's a DJ. He used to DJ with Drew Nice. Some people say he's a photographer. Some people say he's a video man. Some niggas will say he's a sound engineer. I just did it all. Mr. G from Undertaker. We got to get him on the stream. Like, Undertaker was a fucking problem. Those motherfuckers. Undertaker was a problem in this city. Like a problem. Like a real problem. Like none of y'all, no disrespect to anybody, but none of y'all young selectors right now could fuck with Undertaker. If I had money, I'll do it too. If I had like $1 billion, I would fucking clone KP, Vado, and Mr. G. I'll clone them. Break into the house at night and hit them with a needle to pass them out. Hit them with a second needle and take out their blood and go to a lab. And that would make KP, Vado, Presley, and Mr. G. And fucking legend. I would knock them out, break into the house and just knock them out and take their blood out and fucking clone them niggas. And drop them in unity against any one of you young kids that's out there now. Them niggas would fucking kill y'all niggas. Kill y'all niggas. Like, it's not even a fucking... I'm telling you, if I had money, I would clone these niggas. I would clone them. I will clone them. Hold on a second here, man. Before I get out of here, I gotta do this shit. I gotta do it. I gotta do it, man. So I gotta do it. I gotta fucking do it. Let me see if I can do it. And this is what we need to start doing. Let me see here if I could do it. If I could get to this shit. Yes, I could get to it. Hold on a second here. Stay with me. Let me get to it. I gotta show y'all this before I leave, man. Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling these niggas were different, bro.
In Boston, which owned 4th of July. So let's start with Undertaker Sound. Undertaker Sound, whew, their cookouts were crazy. Undertaker was a young sound in Boston. They caught a lot of dub plates, and they were just, it was just mayhem.
I'm telling you.
One thing that happened to me at Malta Street was on my neck. That was Malta Street.
Yo, look at this. This kid right here was a fucking problem. And he's in the chat tonight. I'm telling you. There's Stir the Pearl. Look how young Stir the Pearl is. I don't think he knew what pussy was.
Now pull it up. Boston, Mister.
Yeah, that's a dub plate, bro.
When I look up for World War III too. Yo!
Look at that. That's Legend catching the tunes. And then if you look, you can see KP. There's KP in the background right there. That's KP. I'm telling you, if I had money, I would kidnap Legend, kidnap Mr. G, go to Sar and Lime and kidnap KP. And then go find Stir the Pearl, kidnap him and Presley. And then I'll go on the Tasha Michelle boat ride, knock out Vado. Knock him out, tie him up, bring them to the lab, take out their blood, and clone them, and drop them in 2025. None of y'all could come outside. I want to see a young Vado, Presley, KP, fucking G, and Vado clash trendsetters. Because trendsetters is dangerous. That young kid, them niggas is dangerous too.
Dog, we stuck to crime like glue. Yeah, me I said the man King Midas. Blend the van, get right. You know what doing in New York, on one side, you hear that? And me I say, yo, King Midas. They Polish. Guns out, you hear that? They know our power. Me can say something. Call it brave, you don't call it luck.
Yeah, don't let KP fool you, man. Sitting in the back of Sorrel and Lime, fucking around with the fucking fans in that bitch. Don't let him fool you, bro. Vado, don't let him fool you either. Making fucking jerk chicken and cooking food. Don't let them niggas fool you, bro. Don't let them niggas fool you. Them niggas was different. Them niggas was different.
We are kill son boy with the Peters. Yo, but Boston, there's the police outside. So we're gonna tell the police them this is them coming and stuff. Father, what am I want to come in there? What am I want to come up in there? Tell them this. Stepping on them listen. Play with them guns alone. Shoot them like Kyle Capone. Make them never wrong. Trying to let me know.
This is where we're coming from, man. Let me see here. Stop sharing. This is where I'm coming from. So when you see CJ playing dubs in the dance, this is where we're coming from, yo. Yeah, man. I would love to see a young Vado. I'd love to see a young Mr. G, a young KP, a young Presley, and a young Legend. Love to see that shit. I wish I could just take them out of the 2000s and then just drop them in Unity at Friday Night Lime. Be a fucking bloodbath in that bitch. All right, but this is what we need to do. And this is what this stream's about, right? I have to be the person to educate and expose. Look at my man Jug. Andre Campbell, water down the black vote in the city. Wake up, people, I'm out of here. I know. Yo, Jug.
Call it brave, you don't call it luck. One aim of the riches, I'm a target up. King Midas, my target up. So my family suffer, cause me yard for broke. Paper chase, need that fast to fuck. Fling up a customer, killer, blast a chuck. Riches are flow, so pass the cup. King Midas, carve it up.
Milk. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's build, man. Let's build. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully everybody be back next week. I'm out of here.